What's up, Los Angeles? LA Prepper, and I really don't have any particular reason to be in a good mood, other than the fact that I'm the shit is hitting the fan every day. Somehow I'm able to still live some type of normal life, even in this jungle, Los Angeles. Sorry, that half a hot dog is not agreeing with me. Yes, only the finest of pre-work snacks for LA Prepper. My God, and people in LA are driving really crazy these days, and I don't know. Jesus Christ. I mean, they always drive crazy, right? But recently, people seem to be driving really fucking crazy. I don't know if it's the election or the energy or the solar maximus. Actually, I think we're approaching a solar minimum. And something about icebergs melting, causing, Jesus Christ, icebergs melting, causing new global cooling or something. I don't know. Scientists are smart, but the problem with smart people is they always think they're right. And that is kind of the tough thing about scientists. You know, they're making a hypothesis or prediction. They say, this is the way it is, and I'm sure because X, Y, Z. Or it looks like this is true because, X, Y. Or because I just researched that I did, right? But scientists are constantly being proven wrong, which I don't really blame scientists for because science evolves, and something you thought was true 500 years ago, or maybe even more than 500 years ago, I can't remember the date, Copernicus figured out that the Earth was not the center of the universe, or the center of the solar system even, but the sun is the center of our solar system. And, people weren't really a fan of him at the time. So, I don't know where I was going with all that science stuff. Suffice it to say, scientists are not always correct. For example, in California, ecologists and environmentalists have this idea that if you touch nature, you are the devil. Now, I don't have anything against endangered species, and I don't want to destroy the environment. I understand pollution is bad. That's why I haven't bought a new car. I try to keep my car maintained. I think as an average American, I'm probably not polluting gross amounts. I mean, I drive 50 miles to work every day, but that's not too ridiculous. Man, there is a lot of trash on the road. It is really windy today. And ever since I got into messing around with windsurfing and stuff like that, every time it's windy, I always think man, I wish I was windsurfing or flying my glider or sailing. Or wind has so much power. It's not the same as rocket engine power. It's a little bit more dispersed, but wind has a lot of power, and we're just throwing it away by not putting windmills up everywhere. Birds will figure it out. There's plenty of birds out there. I don't think the birds, maybe we should figure out how to get windmills to deter birds. I'm sure that's some sort of job out there as a bird determination professional. But what's up, Andrew Chapman? Talking about birds and windmills and wind and the power of wind, because I'm kind of into wind. If you've never seen the trimaran, the foiling sailboat Le Hydroptère, you should Google it because it's some really cool stuff as far as how powerful wind is. It makes this sailboat, over 50 knots with a good wind, mind you, and the boats cost millions of dollars to make. But the point is, 50 knots is pretty goddamn fast for a boat of a size. We're not talking some little boat. Actually, to a certain extent, benefit from being a little bit because you can have larger sail and keels, except trimarans don't have keels, they have outriggers. But anyways, sailboats are really cool, trimarans are really cool, hydrofoils are super cool. And it's interesting, the technology in the 50s, and there's still some ferries in Europe here and there that use that technology, but it's really I wouldn't say it ever took off. Um, they do exist and they have been made, and you know, a little bit into the recreational sports nowadays. You're seeing hydrofoil surfboards and hydrofoil windsurfboards and hydrofoil wakeboards, or pretty much just all called hydrofoils. But tell you, engineering, fluid dynamics, really, really cool stuff, right? Oh, shucks. I just remembered I wanted to go to the post office, and I'm kind of going the long way, except maybe I'm not. Maybe this is actually not that much slower of a way. Anyways, I got to go there, so I guess I don't have a choice. But yeah, work starting at 3:30. Having M on the night shift, have been for quite some time. It's super fun. If more things in the world were open 24 hours a day, combined with maybe a neighborhood that didn't have a bajillion dogs, I'm literally surrounded by a chorus of dogs. It's so bad. It's almost comical sometimes because literally, like, one dog will bark, and then the next three dogs in the next house barks, and then the next dog and a half in the next house barks, and then the two dogs next to me bark, and then the other two dogs next to me bark, and it's like, Jesus. When I first looked at the house, the dogs were actually barking, and they kind of barked for a little bit, and they got quiet, and I kind of had this feeling in the back of my mind that it would irritate me. What's up, Die Bullfrog? A vampire? I know, right? Yeah, maybe I'm like one of those hybrid vampires, like the movie something that I saw with hybrid. Was it Blade? I don't know if it was Blade or some other movie. Was it? Maybe it was Priest. I think it was Priest. Kind of a bad Amazon Prime movie about. I think I can turn here. Vampires, and incidentally, hybrid vampires. But well, you know, Uncle Al, people say that they can't see me when I'm. I don't know why that baby halfway out the window is funny, but it's kind of funny. Peanut butter and dog treats. Yeah, but the dogs are kind of noisy, right? So either they kind of bark at me and do that thing, or they whine at me because they know I'm going to give them dog treats. You know, I thought about that. Like, what if we just had a little window in the fence and they could, like, give me a ball and I could play with the dogs, and maybe they wouldn't be so angry at me if I played catch with them. Like, they just kind of bark all the. Is that woman pregnant? She's either pregnant or carrying a fake stomach to commit some very advanced shoplifting, but that's a little unfair. I think she was just pregnant. Oh gosh. Oh, this. So, Uncle Al, what do you think of this whole inauguration and 25,000 troops? Pretty crazy, right? That's a lot of troops. I really don't expect Biden to let. What are you doing? Biden to last 4 years. And if you'll excuse me, I have to run into the post office real quick. So hang on. Well, actually, I need to put some stamps on some stuff real quick. Okay, no postage necessary. No postage necessary. There's nothing more fun than drafting a pleading. I tell you, it's the funnest thing in the world. I had to draft a pleading this morning. Ugh, yuck, 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 yuck. No, we're not doing the dog tranks, Uncle Al. I think I would probably get locked up in the pokey for that. All right, hold that thought. I'll be right back, and we'll see if the world has devolved into a state where I can't walk away from my car for 2 minutes. I have to admit, it would be really funny if someone jumped in my car and tried to steal it and then realized that I was live streaming. Like, they'd probably hit end, but it'd already be live. Now, I don't know what Uncle Al would do if he saw somebody jump into my car. Anyway. Oh, mission accomplished. 2 missions. My liquor store, my people in the hood get kept poor. My liquor store charged me 75 cents a stamp. That is highway robbery. 75 cents a stamp. Can you? And I was just at the post office, incidentally. I don't think they had one of those vending machines there. Oh, man. It should be against the law to make money on stamps. But I guess capitalist market, you can charge anything you want for anything. Oh my God. Lady, just don't stop for 20 years, please, Lord. And family of 5, yes. I do not want to wait for a family of 5. Hit the hit switch. I don't know what that means. Oh. Prepping wise, my preps, I think the next thing is going to be a deep cycle battery. I need to get my water up a little bit, kind of up a medium amount. I haven't quite figured out my ideal water storage. I think a 55-gallon drum would be decent. Oh my gosh, it's my coworker. I think a 55-gallon drum would be good, or at least a couple of them. An IBC, one of those beverage container things, they're like 500 gallons. Obviously, that's a lot of water, and that's nice to have. Holy crap, can I get through this green light? Is there any chance in hell I can get through this green light? So 500 gallons would be nice, right? And if I thought I was going to live in the same place for more than a couple of years, maybe I'd do the 500-gallon thing, but I don't know if I'm going to be in my house for 2 years or 3 years. And I kind of like the idea of when I move, being able to rent a trailer, a large trailer, put everything I own in the trailer, and that's it. Or maybe having to rent, see, if I rent a truck and tow the car, I'm just going to be sucking gas like the Dickens, but because it's an all-wheel drive car, so I can't tow the car on 2 wheels. I got to tow the whole, at least, well, maybe they do. I'm trying to think if I've ever had this car towed. I have had this car towed once. I can't remember if they put it on a flatbed or they put those little Faco wheels under the back, but they don't generally tow all-wheel drive cars the same way they tow, what is this guy doing? 2-wheel drive cars. Oh, it's not shameless. Anyone on my channel is allowed to plug their channel. My channel is so small, and unless the only reason I ever wouldn't want somebody plugging their channel is if they kind of weren't a good person. 1 or 2, maybe if their channel had like nothing remotely to do with prepping, like if their channel is like playing video games or something, and they just came on here and kept, like, maybe once per stream I'll allow, but if they were spamming that stuff. But no, anybody who's a prepper or interested in outdoor stuff or anything remotely preppy, they can. I'm pretty lenient on the comments and the nature of the comments. It has to be cross a certain threshold for me to censor somebody. But censorship is kind of a big topic these days, right? Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, I'm so thirsty, was talking about, I don't like to censor people. I mean, just imagine the doublespeak of somebody censoring, like a president, for example, and then coming on public media and saying, gosh, I really hate to censor people, but sometimes I just have to censor people. Like, am I the only one that sees the comic relief in that? Oh, our fake little ivy blew down and looks quite pathetic, actually.
It looked definitely passable when it was up.
but now that it's blown down, it looks quite sad. Well, we are about to pull into work, and that means it's coffee 30 time and maybe some food truck time. I had fish and chips yesterday. Oh my gosh, there's some pretty good damn fish and chips. I was surprised. I mean, the truck's always busy, but you just don't expect that. 1934. Yeah. Well, till next time, YouTube. You know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep all your cars, ATVs, snowmobiles, sailboats, hydrofoils, and windsurf marines running better than I do, and keep prepping.